Hey, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? You remember that commercial? Hey, I'm Jeffrey Paul with another morning biblical inspiration for you to change your life into an abundant life. You know, it's really important to hear, especially when you've got a cell phone. You know, when you got a cell phone and you get into an area that has a little less frequency or ability to really transmit that communication with whoever you're talking with. It's really interesting how that relates to the biblical principle of hearing God's voice. I always used to love that commercial. He would, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Uh, it really makes a difference when you're in a spiritual level when you're saying, can you hear me now? Well, today I'm going to share with you the place that has the best reception of all to hear God's voice. The very best place. And again, if you have your phone, you run around sometimes a building or you get out in an area that's got very low frequency, a very low ability to hear your voice from the other side. Well, Psalms 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still and know that I am God. Psalms 46:10. And there's a couple of the scriptures I'm going to share with you, but I want to give you an example. Yesterday, over the 4th of July weekend, it was really wonderful being with some friends and being with family. I was with my granddaughters, and boy, that is a blessing. And they energy bunnies. They are just so exciting. I was at my son's and daughter's house, and they were running around the big backyard and playing on the trampoline and jumping in the little swimming pool and running on the slip and slide, and we're having a blast. And it was, "Poppy, Poppy, swing with me. Poppy, Poppy, go in the pool with me. Poppy, Poppy." And as I would try to talk with them, they were so excited, even if I would say, "You really are a blessing," or I'd give them some kind of encouragement, they really couldn't hear me because they were just so excited and moving around so fast. But as the night went on, and we started a fire, and we just started to sit around the fire and talk, and both of them were sitting on my laps. And Valentina, the oldest of the two, leaned back in my chest, and I began to whisper in her ear, that you're growing up to be a beautiful young woman. You are just beautiful inside and out. She looked up at me, and those eyes I'll never forget. She looked up at me, and she just had this glimmer because she heard me. She heard me. In your relationship, in your spiritual situation, wherever it might be, when we're so busy playing or working or worrying or doing whatever we do, we really can't hear his voice because we need to become still. As it says in Psalms 46:10, "Become still and know that I am God." When you become still and you close off the world around you, even if it's in a moment in the midst of a chaos, you enter a place called the kingdom of God. It is the best and ultimate reception because God's presence is there. That stillness and that quietness, as Elijah learned in 1 Kings 19, God's voice wasn't in the storm, wasn't in the harsh wind, earthquake, or fire. All that noise, just like we live each and every day. He couldn't hear God's voice. But when he said, still quiet, Lewis whisper, God said, "Come to the mouth of the cave, come to the mouth of the mountain, and I will speak to you," in a still, quiet voice. He was then in the presence. He closed down the fire, the earthquake, the circumstances, the noises, the worries, the fears, the antagonization that he had over all the things that he was going through. And he just closed that down, and he entered the kingdom of God, where the reception was unbelievable. The reception was absolutely perfect. He heard the voice of God give him direction for his life, ask him questions, dialogue with him back and forth, give him hope. And it's amazing how we have that opportunity each and every moment to enter the kingdom of God, to become still in the peace where there is great reception, where there is great reception. So today I challenge you, if you want to hear God's voice, be still and know that he is God. Be still and know that he is God. Be still. Enter into that quiet place where you can truly hear his voice and be confident you know who it is. Be still and know that he is God. So today, enter into the kingdom of God by simply coming to his peace, into his presence, that he has made the way that you can come into. And you will just absolutely not only hear his voice, but be transformed by his voice and be given the ability to start to live the kind of life he's called you to live, which is abundant life, John 10:10. Can you hear me? I'll see you tomorrow.